Have you read that? It's a Bible passage. Give a challenge. Somebody find it in the next 5 minutes where it says we are to speak the truth in love. How many churches now want to go around speaking lovey-dovey, feel good, soft, cuddly, hot tub, nice, soft, sweet drinks kind of gospel? He doesn't say that. Speak lovey-dovey stuff. And it's not all about, hey man, are you going to hell? It's all true. It's truth in love. Truth in love. There's a cost when we start speaking the truth in love. That the Herods and the Herodiases of this world are going to stand up and take notice. What's it mean to be a disciple of Jesus Christ? It means laying down our life, taking up a cross, and following Him. And it isn't always going to be peaches and cream. It's not always going to be pleasant. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be persecution. And in some cases, in the physical, losing your head. John preaches to us a message of success. What is success? How do you measure success? Do we have successful people? Who is the most successful person you know? What is it to you, to your children? What are you telling your children to be a success? Is it making a lot of money? Is it being in a position of power and authority? What is it? Who's the successful person in the story? Is it Herod, who reigns over Judea? Is it Herodias, who now has married a man who was up and coming? You know why she divorced Philip? Because he was going no place. He was going nowhere. But Herod, oh man, he was a man on the move. He was rising. And she wanted to hook up with a successful man, not a loser. How about her, Salome? Was she a winner? Oh, buddy, probably got a lot of new gigs in different clubs. Or was it John? Are you a self-made person? Or are you a God-made person? I love the story about the little kid. And his dad had his boss over for dinner. And he had told his son about this guy. And he was a self-made man. And the son kept looking at him at dinner. And finally the pompous, arrogant, successful rich man looked at the boy and said, "Boy, why do you keep looking at me?" The boy said, "Well, my dad said you're a self-made man." Of course, he puffed up about 2 times bigger and said, "Well, yes, son, I am. I'm a self-made man." And I love the innocence of children. He said, "Well, why'd you make yourself that way?" You a self-made person or a God-made person? Self-made man, self-made woman, or God-made man or woman. And then finally, he gives us a message of life. John does. And basically he's saying, you know what? In this world, you may not find justice. This world's not fair. It's not always fair. Jesus never promised us a life that would be fair if we follow Him. John's a perfect example of this. You follow Jesus Christ, you speak well of Him, you may and you probably will be mistreated. You speak of Him, people are going to make fun of you. Worship team, come on up. As I just want to close the message out, if you come on up and get folks ready to continue with worship. But you think about it. Message of life. Whoever said life was fair? Jesus never said it. He said exactly the opposite. His word has told us over and over again. If you really follow me, if you truly believe in me, you will have trouble in this life. You will be persecuted, Paul says, if you truly are a believer in Jesus Christ and truly sharing the good news with others. That's why this story is in the middle of this limited commission of the disciples going out sharing salvation. It is not fair, is it, that the Herods of this world sit up in, palaces and have all kinds of physical pleasantries and seems like their life is all good. But you know what? I believe Herod, he lived in torment and he lived in regrets and he lived in a world of darkness and discomfort. And yet it appears that he had everything. It appears that he had, life by the tail. I love the old hymn, "This world is not my home. I'm just a passing through. My life is" what? "Laid up somewhere beyond the blue. My home is laid up somewhere beyond the blue." I love that song, and I go to it often, don't you? When we realize this life is not fair, and we have the pressures of wanting to quit, wanting to give up. Man, John is a great example. There was a time when the darkness of the dungeon, the other Gospels tell us, that he began to wonder. That's okay. Leave it down. Must be that way. It's no problem. It woke up people so they can hear the last part of the message. That's good. That's good. But please go with me into that dark prison with John. And when he asked Jesus' disciples, are you really the one? Now you got to wrap your mind around this, because here is John. John is the first guy who saw Jesus and said, behold, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. And he was the herald. He was the Elijah who was to come to proclaim the coming of the Messiah. And John knew that with all certainty, folks, the kind of faith that just moved mountains. But when he got arrested and he got put into prison and he was down there in that dank, dark, miserable prison, his life hanging in the balance, he got to a point where he began to wonder, is Jesus really the one? And oh, how I can resonate with that. How I can resonate with that. Life is tough. Life isn't easy. Following Jesus Christ and being a disciple of His is not always going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. There are going to be hard times. But when you feel that pressure, when you're in that time of temptation, and your peers are making fun of you, and they're laughing at you, and they're wondering where your head is at, please remember John. Make this message an encouragement to you. Learn the lessons that John has given to us. Choose the way of John. Choose the way of John. It may cost you your physical life. It may cost you some pleasures in this world. But if you choose the way of Herod, you'll lose your soul. The choices always are ours. Who's in control of our life? Where is our head? Where is your head right now? Where is it? Oh, I hope it's wrapped around Jesus Christ and it's with Him. Because this life is so short. So short. And one day we'll have to give an answer. One day we'll stand before the Creator of the universe. And one day we'll need to have someone speak on our behalf. Who's going to do it for you? Your boss? Your spouse? Your children? There's no one qualified to speak to the Creator of this universe on your behalf but Jesus Christ. And thank you, Cindy. What a great expression of showing us today of where our head should be. It should be with Jesus Christ. And committed to Him. Please. The worship team's going to lead us. We have down front here seats right here where we can pray for you. We can lead you down the same road that Cindy went. Last week it was Cody who gave his life, his young life to Jesus Christ. Oh man, I love seeing young people, especially when they know what the road ahead of them. It's not always going to be easy. It's going to be tough in school. And you, where are you at right now? Where's your head? How are you making decisions? Please, prayer team will be down here. We'll minister to you. As we stand, team will lead us out, please, right now.